The People's Court, tonight at 7:30.
Two-faced woman.
What?
You. You acted so cheerful when Miles was here. Now look at you.
I'm sorry. I should learn to try harder. But I'll tell you one thing. Miles was making just as much of an effort.
I know. Because he doesn't want you to be depressed either. And I have to sit here and watch you both pretend that everything is normal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I spoiled your appetite.
Look, I feel the same way you do. But I think that...
What? I wish you would learn to finish your sentence.
Well, I think that you're taking this Nora Fulton thing too seriously. And nobody else will. I think you'd be a lot smarter if you just simply ignored the whole thing.
We would, Jody. Believe me, we would if she was just the only one making these horrible accusations.
I know. She managed to get Barbara on her side, but people will understand that, too, when they find out that Miles just fired her. They're not that dumb.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound cynical, but...
You know, you've got to learn to finish your sentences.
Oh, people love gossip. They love scandal. Especially if it involves someone who has a good reputation. And the more vicious the story, the better. That's what scares me.
Sally, did you see yesterday's paper? Look at this. It's great.
Somebody forgot to set up the glucose IV for Mr. Broadhurst. Will you check his file?
Yes, Dr. Kavanaugh. I have it down for 9 a.m.
Do you? What time is it now? A little after that, isn't it? Could you make sure it's done? If there's any problem, I'm going to be in Miss Hanley's room.
Sure, just make sure you keep the door open.
What was that?
Just a little joke.
Morning, Doc. Hey, see the Monticello Star yesterday?
No, I don't read that paper. It's the one paper that's trash before you even throw it away.
Well, don't worry about that little story they wrote about you. That kind of reputation can't hurt a guy. Probably get you more women patients. Hey, I got a copy of that article for you.
Hands off.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Pampers. America's mothers trust their babies to Pampers Dryness, and by Head & Shoulders, available in regular and conditioning formula.
It's so easy to catch someone's eye, and so easy to lose it. It's so easy to get their attention, and so easy to lose it.
Why risk letting the itch of dandruff be what they notice most when it's so easy to control with Head & Shoulders? Head & Shoulders does an exquisitely beautiful job of keeping that little itch under control. So all they'll notice is hair that's soft, shining, and captivatingly clean. It's so easy to lose that itch and keep their attention with Head & Shoulders.
It's so easy.
I'm savings director of the McBride family. My job is to stop waste, like cutting off the outlaws at the pass when no one's watching. Tough job, because I want what's right for my family. That means cushion quilted Pampers. I've tried bargain brands. Pampers help keep my Sally a lot drier, and dryness is what I want for my baby.
Look, wet a Pampers and the average bargain brand. Wait a minute, slip in a blotter. Pampers cushion quilted lining helps keep babies a lot drier.
Howdy. Howdy. On this ranch, sheriffs wear hats. Deputies wear Pampers.
They sure help keep her drier.
Cushion quilted Pampers helps keep a little baby a lot drier.
The truth is I don't want to believe it. I mean, Schuyler Whitney was never part of this equation in the first place, and it throws our whole theory out of kilter.
I know, David. You had the whole thing in a nice straight line. Jefferson Brown copies the phone book, tries to sell it to Ian Devereaux. Devereaux can't come up with enough money to buy it, so the phone book's got to land somewhere else.
Yes, and we were convinced that Devereaux and Brown met by accident in Switzerland. There was no prior collusion between them.
David, how are we going to deny the evidence of our own eyes? We found those papers in Schuyler Whitney's safe, the same papers we found on Pascal's body. So you tell me, how come you're having trouble believing that Schuyler Whitney's not involved in this thing up to his neck?
Because Whitney said that no one had access to that safe. No one else had the combination.
So he convicted himself with his own words.
As well. Guilty people don't do that, Derek. They give themselves an out. Whitney didn't.
Maybe he just couldn't come up with an alibi fast enough.
Maybe.
David, look. Are we absolutely sure that there were no mistakes about those papers?
No, none. I mean, aside from the phone book sample, there was that CEA classified envelope. And that contained documents equally as significant.
Yeah, so there's only two ways those papers could have gotten that safe. Either somebody framed him and put them there, or he put them there himself.
Exactly.
Now, if he was framed, we don't know how. And if he put them there himself, I should have arrested him this afternoon.
I need a little more time, Derek. Just a little more time to think about this. And in the meantime, he's under surveillance.
Excuse me. Yes, Helen? Is it very important?
Look, I've got to go anyway. It's all right.
Okay, send him in. Thanks, dear.
Yeah. Well, what I've got to do is phone Washington and give them my report. Maybe they'll have some advice for me, although I doubt it. I think they're going to be just as baffled by this as we are. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Hi, come on in, Stone. Come on.
Hi, Chief. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No problem. All right, you and Tyler went to that bar. What was that name?
Charlie's Nest. Yeah, no, Damien actually decided to go alone. He wanted to make sure the bartender was giving him the straight story.
What happened?
Well, I'm afraid he was right. It turns out that the waitress who robbed the till was Poppy Johnson.
Who is it?
It's Damien Tyler. Would you let me in, please, Poppy?
I knew you'd come around again after last night. Well, I heard the lecture, and I even took it to heart. I quit my job. You happy?
That's what I came to talk to you about, your job.
I don't need any more advice, thanks. So what is it you want?
I could tell you it's police business, and I wouldn't be lying.
You're just being cute, aren't you? Using your badge to take advantage of a poor working girl.
I thought you said you quit.
I did. So let's see a little smile, copper. You said I was too good to work in a joint like Charlie's Nest. Well, I did exactly what you wanted me to.
It's the way you quit that worries me, Poppy.
What does that mean?
Means I know what you did. I know that you took money out of that till.
You found out, huh?
Of course I found out. What do you expect? The guy called in a complaint.
You're kidding me. He actually called the cops.
Yes, he called the cops. He was robbed. What did you do that for? It wasn't even that much money, for God's sake.
I'm a crook, that's why. You knew I was a crook. That's why you didn't want to see me anymore. Well, now you know you did the right thing.
Well, if you needed money, you could have...
What? Asked you for money?
Sure, why not?
Look, let me just finish packing here. Then you can take me down to headquarters and book me. Oh, gee, I hope I take a better picture this time than I did the last time. I looked like Machine Gun Molly last time. I was going on a trip anyway. Don't ask me where.
Is that all you're going to say about this? Poppy, what are you trying to do? Commit slow suicide? I want you to tell me why you took that money.
I took it because it belonged to me.
What?
I told the guy that I wanted to quit, and he refused to pay me what he owed me.
Wait a minute, are you serious?
All I wanted was my money. I wanted to be paid for the last 5 days that I worked. A lousy $100. He said I didn't deserve it, and that I had to work a full week if I expected to get paid anything.
You only took $100?
Yes, I only took $100.
Look, that bartender told me you took $200. He said it was $218.
Well, that's a lie, because I counted out every single penny in that register. He must have decided to clean out the rest himself.
Poppy, are you telling me the truth? I want you to swear to me that you're telling me the truth.
What good would that do? You wouldn't believe a hardened criminal anyway.
Put your coat on. You're coming with me.
You're really gonna do this? You're really gonna bring me down, huh?
Maybe I am. Just put your coat on and come on.
How do the vitamins in these cereals compare with Total's?
I have no idea.
This shield shows Total has 100% of a day's allowance of 9 vitamins and iron.
Yeah?
Put Total Shield on your cereal to compare vitamins.
Today I had Raisin Bran. 25%. Total's got a lot more. But how's it taste?
Crisp flakes of whole grain wheat.
Mmm.
And 100% of 9 vitamins. That's the total difference.
What's the happy ending to Bert's marriage proposal to Lonnie? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
How has Natalie's death affected those who knew and loved her 1 year later? This week's National Enquirer tells you, how can owning a pet give you self-confidence? Which new Christmas toys are good and not so good?
It's in the Enquirer.
What kind of women turn Tom Selleck on? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
Jody, you really don't have to do this. Mrs. Goodman said she'd clear up after she dropped Adam off at school.
Well, I think Mrs. Goodman is more upset about what's been happening lately than anybody else in this house.
You know, I think you're right. She said she'd gladly go over and strangle Nora for all of us. Oh, for heaven's sake, what are you doing home?
I believe I live here, don't I? Or have you rented out my room?
What, did you finish your hospital rounds early?
Well, I finished round 1 at least. I'd say it was a knockout.
Well, did something happen?
Oh, just a little to-do at the hospital.
What do you mean?
This orderly came up to me and asked me about that item in the gossip column yesterday. He made a remark I should have let pass, and I didn't. That's all. No, it wasn't that serious. It just got a little too physical, that's all.
What do you mean you were in an actual fight?
No, I just pushed him against a wall, and he let a lot of things fall. It looked
Miles,
like
that's dreadful.
No, that's all right. I just thought it'd be a good idea to come home early this morning. And what's the coffee situation?
Oh, I think there's still some in the kitchen.
Okay,
I'll get it for you.
It's all right. I'll help myself. Don't look so stricken, you two, all right? People can act like children, even in a hospital. It's all going to be forgotten very soon. It's all right.
Oh, Jody, this is awful. It's just getting worse and worse.
Let's not take this too seriously. Maybe it's not that bad.
It is bad, and I've got to do something.
Well, what are you going to do? You're never going to get a lunatic like Nora Fulton to retract her story.
But she is not the one who counts. It's Barbara, Jody. The reason people believe this awful lie about Miles is because his own nurse confirmed it.
Look, you used to be friendly with Barbara, right?
Well, we always got along. Yes, I wonder. I wonder if I went over and talked with her and told her how much she was hurting us. I cannot believe that she would continue this.
Right. I think that's a good idea. I think you should call her right now. You feel a lot better.
Well, I think I should, too. It would certainly make me feel a lot better than not doing anything at all. Oh, thank you. I hope I can still find her at home.
Hello?
Hello, Barbara. This is Nicole Cavanaugh.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Cavanaugh?
I was wondering if you'd be in for a little while. I'd like to talk with you.
I really don't think that's a very good idea, Mrs. Cavanaugh.
Barbara, I know that we were never close friends, but we were never enemies. And if you would be home for just about a half an hour, I'll be over to ring your bell.
But Mrs. Cavanaugh...
Years ago, my only artistic outlet was finger painting. Today, I'm taking art classes. Boy, have I changed my life for the better. Back then, I called the plumber when the faucet leaked. But today, I can change a washer myself. Now that's better. 5 years ago, I had to buy boxes of this and bottles of that to get my laundry clean and soft. But Bowl 3 detergent plus fabric softener changed that. A product that cleans, softens, and controls static clean all in one box. Now, that's a change for the better. Oh, I know, only if it works. Well, Bowl 3 works. See this shirt? Muddy, right? This was just as muddy. Would you ask more from a detergent? And talk about softness. All towels should feel this soft. Now watch. No sticking, no crackling, no annoying static clean. Would you ask more from your fabric softener? That's some change.
A change for the better. Bold 3.
Sore throat? Say ah.
Septic.
The ah in Chloraseptic is for fast temporary relief of minor sore throat pain.
Septic.
Doctors and pharmacists have been recommending Chloraseptic for over 20 years. When your throat hurts, say ah.
Septic.
Liquid, lozenges, and children's Chloraseptic. Fast relief for sore throat pain.
Ah.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to be with the courthouse by now.
I'm on my way there now.
You know, it's too bad you couldn't be Troy's attorney.
You know I can't do that, Cliff. Besides, in this case, I couldn't be objective anyway, so it's just as well.
Oh, just think of all the passion you could arouse in that jury. The sister of the defendant right there. Oh, I certainly hope that Evans is going to use that in his defense.
Cliff, he's doing his job. He's doing everything he possibly can.
How do you think he's going to do?
I've got to get out of here.
Hey, well, look, you want me to go with you?
No. Look, somebody's got to stay here and take care of the paying clients, okay?
How long do you think the trial's going to take?
Today should be the last day. The prosecution is out of witnesses, and the defense doesn't have any. So they'll be asking for their closing arguments. I can just imagine what that's going to be like.
Oh, hi, Dee Dee. Glad you haven't left yet.
I was just going to the courthouse.
Well, can I give you a lift?
No, thanks, Calvin.
Hey, take it. You know, nothing more impressive than a police escort.
Look, I can drive myself, all right?
Force her to go, all right? She shouldn't be on the streets in her present condition. She'd probably go through a red light, and she'd bring disgrace on the firm.
I am perfectly all right. Don't listen to him, Calvin.
Okay. Then why don't you give me a lift to the courthouse?
Why are you going to the courthouse?
I'm going to be a witness.
I thought all the witnesses were called.
For the prosecution, yes. But I am going to be a witness for the defense.
For the defense? Calvin, are you serious?
Yeah. I talked with Evans yesterday, and he decided it would be worth doing. Let the jury know just how trigger-happy Loomis really was.
Calvin, that's wonderful. You're wonderful.
Well, thanks, but I don't really know that's going to do any good, Dee Dee. I mean, it's just, you know, character stuff. It may make absolutely no difference in the jury's decision whatsoever.
No, but for you to do that, for you to say those things about a fellow officer like that...
Oh, we could do better than that, you know? Mr. Stoner, will you please tell the jury exactly what kind of a police officer this Mr. Loomis was? Then you say, well... he was a crook. He was on the payroll of Eddie Lorimer.
That is true, but unfortunately, I can't get that in the record.
Why not?
Well, Evans says it would be immaterial and inadmissible, and I guess you know all the legal words.
He's right. You can't put the victim on trial.
Hey, how do they feel about this down at police headquarters? When you're testifying against a cop, you're defending this killer.
Well, I really don't know. I mean, nobody down there knows about it except the chief.
Well, I got a feeling there's a lot of guys down there who aren't going to like it. In fact, Calvin, they're going to hate you.
That may very well be true.
You know, Calvin, he's right. You're taking a very big risk. You could get a reputation as a troublemaker. You could alienate your fellow officers all to make a point.
Yeah, well, if I could have just made the real point, Dee Dee, if I could have connected Loomis and Lorimer by making it relevant, you know, I could have proved that Bulmer and Loomis were conspiring to hit Troy. It would have been...
But you can't prove that, can you?
No. I tried, though, Dee Dee. I really tried. We even found the bar where Bulmer used to hang out, but we just couldn't get any evidence that he ever met Loomis there. Baby, I'm really sorry.
Oh, Calvin, don't be sorry. You're trying. You are trying so hard. And I love you for it. Now, come on. Let's get down to that courthouse, okay?
Oh, no. Hey, look. I don't want any trouble. If you're here to push me around again...
Just take it easy, Smitty. Now, relax and sit down. I just want to talk to you for a minute. You sit down, too. Look, Smitty, the girl says that she took the money.
Oh, see, that's like I told you.
But she says she only took $100. Now, is that true?
That's a lie.
You're right. It's her word against yours. You know, Smitty, I think I better take you down to headquarters for a lie detector test.
Lie detector test? What for? A lousy $100?
That's not even grand larceny.
All right, you know something about the law. Let's go.
Hey, I can't take off for work just like that.
What, are you worried about your boss? Okay, you call him and tell him you're going right now. Call him. Call him!
Hey, come on. Come on. Don't do that, huh? Come on. Look, I know she's your girlfriend. Why don't we just forget about it, okay?
Because you forget about too many things, Smitty. For example, you forgot about Joe Bulmer the other day.
Oh, listen, let's tell you. After you two guys left, I thought about that, you know? About Joe and who his friends were.
Joe didn't have any friends, just enemies.
Just wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Well, you're right, officer. I did remember seeing old Joe in here with a cop. Yeah, it surprised me seeing Joe, you know? I mean, Joe's the last guy to go around with cops. Forgive me for saying so.
Now, just who was this cop?
The one that was shot, you know. I recognized him as soon as I saw his picture in the paper. I mean, it happened on the same day.
Are you telling me that Joe Bulmer met Ted Loomis here on the day that Ted Loomis was killed?
Yeah, that's right. They sat right here at the bar, thick as thieves, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Hey, look, about this lie detectors.
Don't worry about it, Poppy. Look, you know what this means? Proves to me, anyway, that Joe Bulmer and Ted Loomis probably met here to set up shooting Troy Bannister.
Does that mean you'll be able to get the kid off?
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. It's just not enough. We're going to have Eddie Lorimer's testimony. I don't think we have a chance in hell of getting that. Or do we?
Tis the season, people caring, helping others, time for sharing.
Coffee, Mr.
Everyone is warming up with the taste of Maxwell House. People that you come to count on, friendships that are true. Spend some time with friends and loved ones, Maxwell House. You get that good to the last drop feeling with Maxwell House. Only Maxwell House gives you good to the last drop feeling. Maxwell House.
Share the feelings of the season with the warmth of the coffee that's always good to the last drop.
It's coming! Get that good to the last drop feeling.
Merry Christmas!
Maxwell House.
On Ryan's Hope.
You can call the whole thing off right now. No questions asked.
An undercover assignment
Who's ever been murdering those women has got to be put away.
that may lead to danger.
And I want to be a part of that.
Ryan's Hope.
Weekdays.
Barbara, I know there are things you haven't told me about this situation. Things you would rather not talk about.
Then why ask me to talk about them?
Because I have to know why you are doing this. Why you are helping that sick woman. You must know that Nora is sick. Certainly you've been around enough sick people to recognize a disturbed personality.
I don't know her very well.
And yet she was able to pass on some of her lunatic behavior to you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Look, I understand why you might be upset with Miles. The fact that he let you go so abruptly.
Oh, it was abrupt, all right. It was also terribly unfair.
Yes, well, maybe you're right. Maybe you have cause to complain. But on the other hand, I don't think that gives you a right to hurt other people by lying about them.
Did he tell you why he fired me?
No, he didn't.
Are you sure? He did tell you, didn't he?
No, Barbara, no, he didn't tell me.
You do know. I can tell. That's why you can't look at me.
Yes, but it's not because he told me.
Oh, of course he told you. He probably enjoyed telling you how I made a damn fool of myself.
Look, Barbara, my husband is a very compassionate and caring man, and sometimes his manner can be mistaken for something else.
Did he tell you I fell in love with him? Well, it's a lie. That's right, it's a damned rotten lie. He's so damned egotistical, he thinks every woman falls in love with him. Well, he's wrong. I happen to have a boyfriend, someone I care about very much. And the reason I was fired was because I wouldn't do what the doctor wanted me to.
You wait just a minute. Wait,
Oh,
right
I know you hate to hear this, but it's the truth. He propositioned me, and I said, absolutely not.
Barbara, you're not telling the truth.
Nora Fulton wasn't the first, Mrs. Kavanaugh. And I wasn't either. If you knew how many women he's gone after, and even worse, how many he's caught.
Barbara, I was wrong about you. You haven't caught one or two of Nora's symptoms. You've caught the whole illness. You're as sick as she is.
What about Tammy Dryden? Who? Oh, I knew he hadn't told you about her.
I know Tammy Dryden. She's a nurse that used to work with my husband.
Do you think she has the illness, too? That would be pretty funny, wouldn't it, since she's never even met Nora Fulton? Goodbye. Oh, listen, Mrs. Kavanaugh, why don't you talk to her next? Sooner or later, you'll have to realize that the whole world can't be lying about your husband.
I'm so glad you called me. I wouldn't have missed that for anything. You did the right thing. Believe me, the right thing.
Instant Quaker oatmeal comes in flavors so good that you know what we're gonna do, Timmy?
What?
We're gonna make a
hot cereal lover out of you. Out of me? Out of you. Out of him?
with apples and cinnamon,
Apples and cinnamon? Raisins and spice? Raisins?
maple and brown sugar, and everything nice. We're gonna make a hot cereal lover out of you with Instant Quaker oatmeal.
You did it! You have to wear sunglasses to see my dog. Why? Because he's got the High Pro Glow. Wow!
The High Pro Glow is a shiny coat, the glow of good health, and it comes from Purina High Pro Dog Meal. High Pro gives your dog more protein than any leading dog food for strength and energy on the inside, the glow of good health on the outside.
Henry, there's a light on in the doghouse.
It's the High Pro Glow.
Help give your dog the glow of good health, the High Pro Glow.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow, a report on child abuse. Also, Jennifer O'Neill. Friday, Ed Asner and Andy Gibb. Next week, Yoko Ono on Good Morning America.
Tonight, famous cartoon character Ziggy comes to life in his own warm, wonderful animated special, Ziggy's Gift. And Frosty the Snowman gets a wife to brighten his life in Frosty's Winter Wonderland. 2 ABC Christmas specials for you and your family. Then a weapons supplier turns his big guns on Colt when the fall guy traps him in the Big Apple. After Crystal's ex-husband is out to win her back on Dynasty.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight. While most Americans are struggling, Max Robinson reports that others are turning hard times into hard cash.
Anybody that can do well during these bad times are doing a terrific job.
ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
I tried the Diamond Crystal Salt Cling Test and proved that Diamond Crystal clings better than the other leading salts. Diamond Crystal, first in its class.
This is John Johnson. Coming up on Eyewitness News following the ABC After School special, the worst fears of a Brooklyn couple are realized.
A 10-year-old girl brutally murdered in Brooklyn. I'm Mark Haynes. I'll have that story.
Also, unwed mothers and their children, the problems they face, and the lighting of the Luchow's Christmas tree. And our Eyewitness News special report, Joel Siegel's New York. That's on Eyewitness News.
One thing the ladies can't resist.
Say, you know, you were great back there.
You weren't so bad yourself.
The great Gregory Peck on the next That's Hollywood. Tonight at 7:30 on 7.